fan page. I was an administrator. I also built it for them. Just text me from my own fan page. Color to the deaf, music to the blind. I'm Loris Diran, and this is page 31.
Alright, we're here in Soho in your very own boutique. There's a very free-flowing vibe about the place. Explain what the ambiance of the store brings to people.
Well, the vibe of the boutique when I built it, I kind of worked off of what the space was. You know, I've always been that way. When I lived in apartments, I always reflected whatever it was, the building or the neighborhood, and of course the actual unit brought me. I lived in an apartment that looked like, it was a Victorian brownstone. The inside had a lot of mint detail. I brought a lot of antiques into the apartment. That was it. Now I live in an extremely modern apartment on the 40th floor of a building on 42nd Street, and it's a very modern building, and everything in it became super modern like the W Hotel. I always allow the space to affect me the way I allow fabric to affect the design of a garment. So this was a brand new building we built the Loris Diran boutique in. It's an Avalon building on the Bowery, and I wanted to utilize how minimal and modern it was. So I used the inspiration of mid-century minimalism in the actual decorating of the boutique. Mind you, I didn't let that stop me from making it warm and interesting. I used aspects of mid-century design. I bought actual antiques from the 1950s and 60s that were very minimalist and very light, like the glass-sided couches and chairs from the 1960s, the couture chandelier from 1967, this table also. And I hunted for things that really spoke to me. And they were inspired by actually a home in Lake of Como, Italy, owned by my family, that was extremely modern and extremely light.
Would you consider your sketches as more of blueprints?
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah.
So when you're coming together with these sketches, you start with a foundation that you want to work off of?
Yeah, in the old days, I used to do what many designers do, which is this kind of watercolor thing, the dress, you know, the arm is going out there, and it's just like a head with hair coming up, and it's just a shape and a flow. And that's a good place to begin. But now I just cut right to the chase. I go straight into the sketch of the garment. Where that line's got to be on the shoulder, how it's going to drape, what the actual proportion is. All the fantasy is terrific, but you have to also, when you're sketching, in my opinion, do something that not only inspires, but actually reflects the reality of what the garment is going to have to do. Or else, then you're just doing a painting.
Is there ever a point where it hits you and you're like, wow, I never thought it would look like this. I never imagined it could be that.
You know when that hits me? When a stylist does a shoot, not when a celebrity wears it. A celebrity pretty much wears it the way, you know, you've intended for it to look. When a stylist takes it for a shoot for a really avant-garde magazine, like Vogue in Italy, Italian Vogue took my pieces and they did a shoot with it. And the whole theme of the shoot was the Middle East and Morocco, and it was extremely dark. The makeup was very gothic. I was so drop-dead impressed by the way the stylist put together the pieces, which I would never have done. That's impressive. That to me is very impressive, because I would never have known the garment could have looked like that. And they change it, they accessorize it, they pull it up, they pull it down, they do all this stuff. I was totally knocked out. You know, expanding the line is going to be very important. Expanding the variety of things, offerings in the line, more casual pieces. I mean, everybody says, do you want to do a secondary line? I don't think a secondary line is necessary. I think creating variety in a collection. I've always admired, for instance, Rag & Bone for that. Rag & Bone, you can buy things from soup to nuts. You can go in there and buy a great t-shirt, or you could buy a $2,600 suit, handmade suit. It's up to you. But it all fits the rag and bone lifestyle. I think that's such a great concept. If there's one piece that I think is the most important piece of garment to menswear that presents authority, taste, and gives a sense of importance when a man walks in the door, it's the blazer. I worked on the blazer fit season after season to make it perfect and relevant and modern. It's a very hard thing. People, when they see a jacket walk in the room, I mean jacket is in a coat, blazer. People always make an assumption about someone. Well, he's formal, well, he's important, well, he's moneyed. It's amazing how much one dumb garment can mean just socially to people on seeing it. I always take a good black blazer with me wherever I go around the world. The reason is that I believe, and I sincerely believe this with all my heart, that you could be wearing jeans and a sandal or a sneaker and a t-shirt. If you have that blazer, you could easily fit into any restaurant or anything else you need to go to in that city. When you put on that jacket, it means the world to the way you look.